Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to Charity's Bubble. It's about that time we went live. Hi, I'm gonna give it a few minutes for people to join. It's 12 p.m. Today I'm on time. Oh my goodness, today I'm on time. Gonna give it a few minutes to see if I'll see anybody, and then we will roll from there. One person. Type your name there and tell me where you're watching me at. Type your name and tell me where you are watching me at. I see people have. I see Grace Wairibo there is there on time. She was waiting for me to come live. So, guys, I hope that you're doing fine. 6 people. We are going to give it 4 minutes. And then we are going to talk about a lot of stuff. I postponed the Saturday live last week. Because I was so busy taking my kids to their stuff, their activities. So I couldn't. I tried, but I wasn't able to. So, but today I am here, and we are gonna talk about stuff. So I see people have started coming on. 7 people. Please give this video a thumbs up, guys. Give my video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel at Charities Bubble USA. I see people are coming on, and we are gonna be here. I'm gonna be with you for some time. Oh my gosh, Grace. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't want to say that it's been a minute because it's not been a minute. It's been 2 weeks since I did a live show. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, and I just woke up, guys. I went to work and then I came. I was like, let me sleep a few hours and then I'm gonna wake up and do the live show. So, guys, we're gonna give it a few more minutes before we go live. Oh, sorry, before we start acknowledging people here in a little bit. Trying to update my phone here. 2 minutes 37 seconds. I hope you guys have been doing fine. It's been I've had a roller coaster and I still have a tough week ahead of me, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine, guys. Type for me there and tell me wherever you are. Tell me wherever you are. Tell me what time it is. Here it's 12:02 p.m. It's just noon. It's noon. And today we have a very good weather. Yesterday it was very cold. The previous day was very cold, but today is good. 11 people, guys. Please give my video a thumbs up. 11 people watching me live. 3:24 minutes. 3 minutes, 24 seconds. I see some thumbs up there, Grace Wairibo. Thank you for that. 3 minutes, 34 seconds. And we are gonna acknowledge people here in a little bit. Here in a few minutes, I am going to acknowledge people. I hope that you guys have been doing fine. I've been fine, but I've been busy. 3 minutes, 51 seconds. We are almost there. I normally like to give people like 4 minutes, and then we can go on with our live show. 4 minutes. Grace Wairibo, hello. I am time on today. I hope that you're doing fine, Grace. It's been a while. Catherine Kamere, hi Charity. Thank you for joining me. Bernard Bonene, I am here. Irene Sang, hello Charity, watching from Nairobi. Thank you for joining me. Langat Kibet, watching you live from JKIA. Langat, are you flying? If you're flying, I wish you a safe flight. Thank you for joining me. Bernard Bonede is in Nairobi, Kitengela. Thank you. Catherine Kamere is watching me from Cape Town, South Africa. So glad that you came back on live. Yes, I was missing it, but I was a little bit busy. Grace Wairibo is saying 1 minute is like a month. Coming live chat. Miss you, our mama. We miss this information. We wish you well. Thank you very much, Grace Wairibo. Edna Maina, Shiko Maina. Hi Charity, tuned in from Nairobi, Githurai. Thank you for joining me. Nanono Viola, hello Charity, thank you. John Milongo, hi Charity. Grace Warimo, thumbs up. Very busy this side. Tuned in from Qatar. It's 9:04 p.m. Thank you for that. Catherine Kamere is saying it's 8:03 in Cape Town. And Anne Wambogo is Mombasa, Kenya. It's 9 p.m. Karibu. Asante sana. I tell you guys that my sister lives in Mombasa. I only have one sister. And if all goes well, I might tell you that I am coming to Kenya here in this summer, but I haven't planned it like very well. But as soon as I plan it fully, I am going to let you know if I'm coming to Kenya. Viola Nanono, Uganda. Thank you for joining me. Now, I'm going to talk about a few questions that are here in my notifications. And if you have a question, kindly type it there. I know there is a person who was asking me about the visa bulletin, and they told me that they don't understand it in English, but I haven't had time to reply to them, and I haven't ignored them. I'm gonna reply that and just try to explain that in Swahili because she was telling me that she really doesn't understand it, and it's a good thing to say if you don't understand, because it's hard unless someone explains the visa bulletin to you. Sometimes it's very hard to understand, like all those numbers, all the cutoff and all that. But I'm gonna talk about that in Swahili so that she can understand. Now, Namja 900. Hi, I'm Namja from Dubai. It's nothing better than pharmacy, both officially a salary and in class in USA. Now, what I can say is that both of them are good. Both of them are good. It depends on where you want to work. And the salary range, a pharmacist gets more than a nurse. A pharmacist, of course, they get more than a nurse. And it depends on what you want. And then what I told you guys is that when you come here, especially if you are an adult and you want to go to nursing school, it all depends on your pace. You cannot put a time frame on it. Although basically, if you go to school throughout, it's going to take you 3 to 4 years to be done. But you find that if you don't go to school throughout, and it's 4 years if you're doing the bachelor's degree, but if you're doing just the normal degree, the registered nurse, it's going to take you 3 years, because you have to do the general education. When you come here, you don't just go right to do the major that you want. They normally have you do some other classes that are related to that, just to prepare you. Especially there was a person who was asking me, why do we have to do math and it's nursing? You have to do math because when you go to nursing school, you have to do some math. You have to do a lot of math. Actually, it's a lot, and it's you have to understand. So you have to do the basic classes. 15 people are watching. Thank you for joining me. Please give my video a thumbs up. And so after that, then you will enter into the nursing school. So when you enter to the nursing school, if you want to do the BSN, you can go for 2 years. But you can break it down. I told you guys you can break it down, because you find that here in this country, it's not where you will say that you'll go to school and you will ignore everything else. You find that here, when you go to school, you still have to think about how you are going to pay your bills. That's important. You have to think about that. Because if you do not think about that, then where are you going to live? Because here it depends on, like, your livelihood is shaped by your work. So work becomes very important. Like, it's a major factor. It's not like the way someone can be maybe in Kenya, and maybe they live in the village. I'm going to give an example of the village. I'm not going to give the example of like someone who lives in Nairobi, because you have to pay bills. So you find that if you have, or maybe if you have your own house, you find that you will, maybe you have a farm or whatever, you can be able to manage and go to school throughout. But you find that here you must work. Like, you must work. Your life here depends on your paychecks. That's what I can say. Your life, your rent, everything depends on your paychecks. So you find that if you are not working, then that means that you won't even have a place to live. And here it's very easy for you not to have a place to live, or not to have something to eat, especially if you choose not to work. So you find that you balance it. And what I did, like I told you guys, is that I did my general education. Actually, I did most of my classes online, because I couldn't afford to go to school at that time, because I had a little baby. And then when it came to going for the program, because that one you cannot work, like, you just cannot. I had a very good support system. So if you have a good support system, then you are able to go to school throughout. But if you came here single and you do not have a support system, then everything falls upon you. So you have to plan and see, this is the time that I will go to school, because you find that even in nursing, if you want to do just the associate degree, you just want to do the LPN, you can do it you don't have to go to school all day. You can do it in 3 semesters, but you go a few hours so that you can get hours for you to go to work, because that's a major factor, guys. It's very, very, very major. So it doesn't matter, but a pharmacist will get more, and of course you will have to you just wait. I would say, like, you just need to wait and see what you want to do. But both of them are good. Both of them are good. But like I said, most Africans, not all of them, but most of them, tend to lean to nursing. I've never known why, but I know that nursing right now, it pays a lot of money, especially if you're traveling. If you become a traveling nurse, oh my gosh, and you don't have anything that's bothering you, or that's stopping you from being a traveler, you find that you make so much money. So it depends. When you come here, because it's a new life, you have to sit down and rethink, because you might come from home and you say that when I go to the US, this is what I am gonna do. But when you come here, you find that you change. It depends. It depends on a lot of factors, guys. It depends, because the lifestyle comes into factor. If you are married, it comes to factor. If you have kids, and it depends on the age of your kids, that really matters. Because if they are very little, and then you have, unless you have a very big support system, a very, very, very solid support system, sometimes you can't even blame people who are not able to go to school, because maybe they tried, they did the general eds, which are very easy, you can do them online, but when it came to go to the program, they were not able to, because maybe they don't have someone to watch their kids. I told you guys here, you cannot leave your kids alone. You can't. You have to stay with them. And there's so many factors that go in. So you decide on that. So that's a very good question that was asked by who was it? Namja 900. So Apia Paul, great to meet you, dear. It's 6:05 in Ghana. Thank you very much. Nancy Jockey, hi Charity, watching from Nairobi. Lampaya Tiones, thank you for joining me. You have been very, very, very active. I have seen you like so many times. Thank you very much, and thank you for that thumbs up. Hello, Charity. Thank you. I am a CPA and interested in settling in Kansas if I manage to come. Are there finance jobs? My kids are 13, 12, and 5 years. Can I manage single-handed? Yes, you can. Actually, a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, that's good. The one that you will have maybe to wait a little bit before you go, although you can start with general eds online, is a 5-year-old, because you find that I think, no, the 5-year-old actually can go to school from 8 to 3. That's good. That's good. That way you don't have to go to the one that 4-year-olds go, because 4-year-olds here go to school for 3 hours, and then you have to go and get them. But you find that when they come here, when they're little, like my daughter came when she was 4, she has to do a test. So when she does the test, they will decide where she will go. If she's gonna go to the school that is a full day from 8 to 3, or is she gonna go for that for 3 hours? It all depends on when they are tested. But most kids, they do well. The thing that I would say that kids struggle here is languages. They really do struggle in languages, because you find that when you are at home, the education there is a little bit different. And you find here, when they come on this side, the first thing, there's something that I noted, like very early when I came in here, is that when we came in, if you would ask my daughter what her birthday was, she wouldn't know. But you find that here, the first thing that the kids get to know is their birthday. They know like that one. When were you born? They know that one. So that's something that's very common. So I could say, like, my daughter was like, she didn't know the day that she was born, and that's very important. You'll find that even a 3-year-old is going to tell you when they were born. Another thing is something like colors, knowing all the colors. That one, that one, they just know them, because that's the basics. So you find that they will test your child, and then they will place them whatever they feel that it's best. But normally what they do is that if anybody needs help, they help. Like, oh my gosh, you get so much help here. You get a lot of help, because everybody is willing to help you so that you can adapt. So That's good. Anissa, I'm a CPA and interested in so I talked about that. Your 13-year-old, of course, will go to high school. Is it high school? No, we'll be close to go to high school because they can go to high school at 15, and then you're 12-year-old, so you won't have a problem with that at all. Catherine Kamere, as we draw closer to May 7, for those of us who apply the DV lottery, I'm having to keep on reminding myself to leave space for disappointment. Yes, please do, guys. Please do. Do not just put all your energy in there because you do not want to get depressed, guys. So what I want you to do, and that's what I always tell you, like what she's saying, leave space for disappointment if not selected. Maybe touch a little on this. Yeah. So it's good. It's very, and I've always told you guys that because you did apply for the DV lottery, but I told you it's a lottery. You have to take a step back because you do not want to stop your life or your life to change. You know, I've seen people who have gone, even not even a DV lottery, they've just gone to ask for a student visa and they weren't given, and they just become so disappointed and so broken that it takes time for them to recover. I do not want you guys to get there. I want you to be okay. Even if you're not selected this time, you'll be fine. You say next year I will try. And I told you next year you don't need a passport to apply. You can apply. Anybody can apply because that requirement for the passport is there. It is only going to be required after you have won, which is a good thing because it reduces the cost. It does reduce the cost, which is very, very good. Okay. I guess my 18 years can go to college and work, and the little baby is 9 years. Now, 9 years is good. 9 years is very good. 9 years you will take to school in the morning, and they will come out at 3. And you find that here, when they go to a public school, like my daughter, she goes to a public school, they are picked by the bus at the door. Just near where you, or maybe if not at the door, just near the bus stop is always near, like a few meters from where you're living, and that is where the bus drops them. But for a 9-year-old, you find that if it's at the door, you have to stand at the door when the bus is coming because they have to see that there's someone at home. They have to see that there's someone at home. Now, like my daughter, right now, she's 12. It's fine. She's dropped a few meters from our house, and she just walks because she's 12. But you find that when they are younger, especially if they have to walk a few meters, you find that you have to be there at the stop, or maybe if they are being dropped at your whatever, at your parking lot, you have to stand outside so that they can be dropped. You find that if there is nobody there, they will not drop them. So here, security for kids is like is very high. Now, there's something else that I wanted to talk about. There's this person who wrote to me and told me that he was asking about a host, and he said, hi Charity, how can I get a host, or can you connect me with someone because I want to fill my DS260? Now, this person, if they had won their DB lottery, maybe 2022, because this one doesn't look like the 2023, because we haven't gone to the 2023, you find that this person, when you're filling out your DB23, today is February 26th, guys. If you checked in May and today is February 26th, and this is the time that you're filling out the DS260, I'm not going to say that it is late. But the best thing is that when you win your DV lottery, please fill out your DS260 on time. Do not wait until the next year. Why are you waiting? I told you right now, the cut-off number that's going to be the latest DV lottery is 50,000. So if it is 50,000 and this person wants to fill out the DS260 right now, what makes you think that maybe their case number has already been surpassed? Because let's assume that their case number was in the 20,000s, and right now is when they are filling out their DS260. They do not go back. When the number has passed, it has passed. They don't go back. They do not go back. So it's good to be proactive. I told you guys, it's good to be proactive and just do it on time. Do it on time. Do it. The latest you can do it maybe is July. And they don't have a timeline. Yes, I know they don't have a timeline. But I think that as approaching May and it's February, I think it's, I'm not going to, I didn't tell that person maybe they could not fill out or whatever, but I still feel like it's too late. You've stayed for a long time. What if your number was a low case number? Then how will that play out? Because I told you that some people win the DV lottery and they don't get the second notification letter. Why? Because the numbers. Every place, every region is 7%, even if it's that 50 whatever thousand. So you find that you have to be proactive. Otherwise, if you're not proactive, it's not going to help you much. It's not going to help you much. So I kind of felt concerned about this question, and I wanted to talk about it. So on the way forward is that it's good for you to make sure that you fill out your stuff early. The earlier, the better. The early bird catches the worm. So it's very, very, very good. Okay. So hi, Charity, tuned in. So 18 years old, they can go to college, because I believe they finished high school, so they can go to college. And normally, what happens, what I've seen with college kids, because my son now is in college, is that they go, and first of all, they have a whole year just to do the general education before they decide. And you find that the young people, it's funny that maybe when they're finishing high school, they say that maybe I want to do engineering, or I want to do computer science. But then in the middle of nowhere, they change their major. They can change their major. Like my son has changed his major like 5 times. So you find that what you do, us in the African way, we were used to be dictated by what our parents wanted. Like you'd be like, maybe your mom or your dad was saying that I want you to be a doctor, or whatever. You know, those big courses, that those big things. I want you to be a lawyer. But you find that here is a little bit different, because you have to take a back and give them time to discover what they want for themselves. Actually, even when you take them to college, and I don't know if I talked about this, is that you don't even have access to their grades. You don't, unless they give you permission. You don't have, because it's a deciding time, and it's a time for independence. And that is why I normally say, you guys, that US is good, because even when they go to high school, they get an ID whereby at a certain age, at 16, they can drive themselves to school. They can get a job where they can work for 2 hours and know how to manage their money. So all you can do with this college person is that you just give advice and let them decide. Because if you dictate, you tell them, this is what are you, like the way our parents used to be, they would be like, I want you, when you grow up, you can go to become a doctor or whatever, those big courses. And it was good, because that's that was what it was at that time. But you find that here, you have to let them decide. You have to let them make their own mistakes and realize from them. So you find that your child, and I kind of struggled with that, is that today he would say that this is what I want to do, and then after a few months he would be like, no, I'm changing my major, this is what I want to do. It's a deciding time when they are doing their general eds, so that by the time they are done with their general eds and they are going to choose a major, they will have made up their mind, this is what they want to do. And you find that when they are changing the general education, sometimes there are some classes that are needed in there, some classes are needed in here, so they might take a longer time for them to finish the general eds. But it's okay, because they are young. It's okay for them to do all that, so that they decide at the end of the day they will do the right thing. So it's that's something that you need to know. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about, especially when we come here in the US, and we are immigrants. You find that you live a life that you are living there, and then you come here. When you come here, especially when your kids are young, it's good to start maybe saving for them for college. Even if you don't save a lot of money, let's assume there's who is saying that they have a 9-year-old. There's Grace who says no, Anissa, who says that she has a 5-year-old. You find that if you start saving for that 5-year-old, even if you'll be saving like $20, or maybe you'll be saving like $30 every paycheck that you're getting, doesn't matter whether you're paid weekly or monthly. By the time that your child goes to college, you will have enough money for them to pay for their fees. That way, you do not burden them with the whatever of it's, and there are grants here, and there is financial aid or all that. But you find that some of them, when they're doing these majors, it costs a lot, and maybe by the time that they're done with school, they have a student loan debt. And I've seen that as a challenge, because you find that and I talk to kids who are the same age with my son, and most of them, like, they become scared of that, of maybe having a student loan after they're done with school or whatever. So they tend to like they tend to not want to aim to what they wanted, because you find that influence here takes a very big part, because your kids will talk with the kids who are born here. They will talk with everybody, and they will, they will have their own ideas. So you find that it's good when you come in. It doesn't matter whether you are earning $15 an hour. You can save $10, and then you find that if you started saving $10 when your child was 5 years old, by the time they are finished in school, maybe you'll have from $15 to $20,000, and you find that you will be able to help that child. That way, they will go to school when you are paying for them. They will be able, even if they will have to take anything, they'll just take the grants and they're good to go. Because you find that what I've seen with the young people is that some of them are talking too much about the student loan, and they're like, and I was having this conversation with my son, and he was like, I don't want to take any of that. But then you find that when you talk to that age group, they always fear that. So it's good as a parent to plan, because you want your kids to go to college. You don't want your kids to just go to high school and not to have something for themselves. We believe that education is the key, and that's what I believe, and that's why I'm going to school when I'm old, because I know that with more education, the more degrees that I will get, the more I will. I think I will be better. That's what I think. Yes, I'm doing good, but I still feel like what I would have done maybe 20 years ago. That's what I'm doing, because I didn't have that chance. But it's good to give your children that chance, whereby you will have enough money for them to go to college. It's very, very important when you're coming in here to have that on your mindset, that you're going to start saving for your kids. Because you find that here, it's not like the way you were saying that, in at home, especially when we were going to school. I remember when I was going to high school, my mom took a loan. She took a loan, and then I just went to school with loans and loans and loans. So you find that for you to avoid all that, you find that you can start saving little by little, little by little, little, until your child gets to there, and then you will have enough to pay for their college education, because college education is expensive. It is expensive. Yes, there are grants. You can manage them. You can apply for scholarships. They are there, but it's good. It's always good to have something in the pocket, so that in case of anything, you can boost them, and they can be able to go to school when they're stress free. Because it's all about our kids. Everything comes down to about our kids, especially when you have children. It's all about your children, and you want to live a life that you're going to make it better for them. So I thought that I would touch on that. And let's see. Karen Nikorote. Hi, Charity. Tuned in. Karen, I haven't seen you in a while. Mary Wamboy. Hi, Charity. I'm grateful to see you alive today. 27 people, guys. If you haven't given my video a thumbs up, kindly consider doing so. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. Now, let me talk about my Facebook before I acknowledge more people. Now, I have a Facebook account at Charity Nganga. That's my personal Facebook account. You can ask me for a friend request. And you can follow me on Charity's Bible fan page. Follow me there, and if you have a question, you put it there. I will look at it, and I'm going to answer it in one of my live shows. Okay. So, Mrs. No, this is no, Mary Wamboy. Clinton Mogusu is saying, hello, Miss Charity. Can you please share some nice colleges one can apply in your state and how to apply? Now, when you come here, what I can tell you is that the best are the community colleges, because they are more cheaper. And I'm saying that because I've gone to a community college and I've gone to an international college. So community colleges are good. Go to a community college. And I told you guys, even if you can even do, they are called trade courses. You can do trade courses. If you don't want to like stay in school for a long time, you can do trade courses. You can do something like carpentry. You can do something like welding. You can do something like electrical. You can do something like plumbing. All those are there. So what you need to do is that when you get in touch, go to a community college. They are more cheaper. And if you like want to maybe transfer, you find that their credits, you just look at their credits, some transfer. If you want to do something that they are not offering at that whatever, you find that they transfer to the major ones, especially if you want to go for your degrees and your PhDs, all that. The credits is that the classes that you have taken there, they can transfer to that specific school. Although even if they will tell you to do a little more additional classes, that they will transfer. But the best that I can tell you and the cheapest is the community colleges. Those are really good. Okay. Thumbs up for the live chat and be blessed. That is Karen. Thank you for that. Grace Wangari, hi Charity, watching from Nakuru. Thank you. Let Love Lead. Welcome back. Thank you for that. I was chatting with you the other day. Thank you for joining me. And it's a kindly touch on other careers if you're not interested in meds, nursing, jobs like finance and other fields. Yes, you can do finance. You can do business finance. You can do business finance. You can do accounting. And you get a good job. You get a very, very good job when you do that. You can even do engineering. There are so many courses to be done. What I say is that when you come here, the sky is the limit. You decide. You look at yourself individually, because every case, every person is individualized. So when you come here, the thing that you will have access with is internet. You will have access with it. Even if you don't have it in your house, if you go to McDonald's, it's free internet. You go sit there and Google whatever. Or maybe you go to a friend's house. You can Google and you will get a lot of information. And if you are still not satisfied with finding out, because most of the things here are online, which is sometimes I find a disadvantage, and I'm going to talk about a disadvantage of online here in a little bit, is that when you find the information, you can even go to the school and get the information in person. You just book an appointment, you go, you get the information in the person, and then you decide. But before you are here, you find that it's a little bit hard, because when you come here, you'll be like, oh, I want to go and do engineering. But when you come here on the ground, it's then you start deciding. You start saying this is this and this and this and this, and then before you decide, you find that you will end up doing something else different. So there are so many courses that can be done, but everything is individualized. It depends on how you are or what you want to do. So that's a good question, but still it's very, very individualized. But there are so many courses that can be done. It's not only medicine, it's not only nursing. No, it's not. There are so many other things that can be done. Okay. Hi Charity, I like how you answer questions. Baraka Jeremiah, thank you for that. Christine Wawi, hi Charity, I just subscribed. Nikaribisho na kauji. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I look at my numbers, I'm like, oh my gosh. Guys, share my video so that people can subscribe. That's the only way that you guys can give back, just by subscribing, commenting, whatever, asking me a question, and I will answer it. Okay, let's see. Nathan, for all my DV subscription, at least you have relieved my anger. I enjoy your lecture. Yeah, guys, I needed to cool it down and just approach it with a lot of calmness. May 7, we are going to come here and people are going to start saying, I got it. So, and if you didn't get it, it's okay. You'll be all right, even if you don't get it. Now, can I use CNA certificate I got in Dubai Institute, but with an American exam and certificate to get a job in the USA? And normally, you find that for the CNA work, what happens is that you only do that course for a month, and they will require you to come and do it here. That one might not be viable. And why? It's not that it's a bad one. This is NAMJA 900. It's not that it's a bad one. The thing is that the systems here are different. They are very, very different from other places. So you find that what they want you to do, number one, is to go to that CNA class and learn in a scenario, in a live scenario, whereby you will have to go. It's like you're working, you are at work, but you are in school. They are teaching you how to do it. You see what I mean? And that's why even there's a video that I did about becoming a doctor here. When you want to become a doctor, it doesn't matter how many whatever you have practiced, how many years, you will still have to take some courses, do some exams, and be familiar with the American way of healthcare. So you find that even if you have that one, it's good, but it might not help you when you come on this side. You'll have to go to school and do your CNA class. And it only takes 4 weeks. It's not much. And then you do your exam. And you find that if you come here as a permanent resident, like I told you guys, I did my CNA, I did my Med-Aid, and my home health. I did it for free. I just went to, there is in every state there is something called workforce, whereby you go in there and you apply for them to pay for your college and to get you a job. But before they pay for you, they have you do English. They will have you do an English exam. They will have you do reading and comprehension, and they will have you do math. So you'll do 3 things. And then when you do those 3 things, then they are going to pay you the course that you want. And it doesn't really need to be only CNA or whatever. It can be any other course. It can be any other course that you want to do. They will pay for you. And then after they pay for you, they will give you websites where you can apply for jobs. And then after they apply for you your job, they will follow up and see how you're doing. So so even if you did it somewhere else and it is not valid or it is not viable over here, you find that you can still come and do it. It doesn't take long, guys. It's just a short time. And you find that there are also other jobs that you can go to. You haven't done your CNA, but when you go there, they offer those courses. They train you. Actually, they will pay for your training, and then you can go and work for them. Of course, they will have to deduct you a little bit. And some of them, you just go for free. And then the only thing that you need to do is just to work for them for some time. It's not that you're held there forever. No, even nursing school, there's some companies that you will work with, and they will pay for your school fees, as long as there's a certain duration of time that you can work for them. So it's easy. It's very, very easy for you to do these courses. So you don't have to worry. Even if you did that course out there and you come with that certificate and they want you to do something else, it's okay. It's okay, because you still get help. You still get help. All right. Now, there's Alibad. Hi, Charity. I have a question. I am outside my country. What if I win DV Lottery 2023? Am I supposed to go back to my country to proceed at American Embassy office, or am I good to go to the country I am currently? No, it's not good for you to go to the country that you are currently. I'm reading a question here from the comments from YouTube. Because when you filled out the DV Lottery, there is the country of birth, and that is one of the things that make you qualify to apply for the DV. Where you were born, your country of birth, that is the first thing. So you find that when you win, you have to go back home and do processing there. You can't process it in Dubai. You have to go back home, because all your stuff will be there. Even the passport, you'll get it from there. So it's good for you to know that even if you are in there, then you plan to go home, because they will tell you this is the time for your appointment. This is the time that and when they tell you that this is the time for your appointment, of course, you'll call to schedule your medical appointment a few days before. And when you call, I told you guys, you say it's DV, and then you can go. But you find that you don't have, because you won in May and you fill out your DS-26, you don't have to go to home direct. No, you still continue working, because we say that you do not stop working. And maybe the day that your medicals have been scheduled, it's when you fly back home. And when you fly back home, you go for your medical, and then you go for your whatever, for your interview. Then after you get that green paper, it's a green paper that they give you. After you get that one, it's when you can go and resign from your job. But do not resign, or do not go home simply because you checked and you were selected. No. I told you, when you look at that paper, it tells you it tells you being selected is not a guarantee that you will come to the US, which is true. Even when you get that visa and they have stamped it on your passport, they will still tell you getting the visa is not guarantee that you will enter US. So you find that there's always that caution that they always put there. It's always there. And even when you become a permanent resident, they still tell you that it's not a must that you become a US citizen. So it's there, and that is why, especially if you haven't gotten your visa to come and whatever, your green card or whatever, do not make any major life change. Don't, because if you do, you might get disappointed, and you do not want to be disappointed. So it's very, very important for you to put that in your whatever, to put that in mind. Now, there's something else that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about, so 30 people watching me, thank you. And please give my video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. I like to, I like to blow my own trumpet. So guys, kindly share my video and subscribe. Now, there's something else that I've been meaning to talk about and I want to talk about. I know I had done a video about it, but I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about this with people like who are coming in or people who want to come in. I want to talk about something called, I'm going to talk about death because you find that when you come here on this side, you have to plan your death because you find that everybody at some point that will come, that will happen. So you find that here, the norms here in the US is that people plan what will happen after they die. They do plan everything. They plan, they even pick up the outfit that they are going to wear when they're dead. So that means that they have picked where they will be taken. They have picked where they will be buried. You know, I saw that post that was circulating on Facebook a while ago, where this guy in Africa somewhere had made a little house where he was going to be buried. And you know, some people, according to our traditions, we don't do that. But you find that when you come here on this side, it's a little bit different because you find that even if we are here, most of us want to be buried back at home, and that, you know, that's an African thing. You want to go back to lay whatever, to have your final resting place with your kin. That's you know, that's important to all of us. It's very, very important. So you find that when you come here, normally is that you're not going to come here and start earning millions of dollars. Some might not. So you find that sometimes you might want to save, but you're not able to save. Sometimes you might want to have something, but you don't have it. So you find that, and this one happens a lot, is that when a person passes away, sometimes there's that struggle. There's that struggle because they want to be taken home and all that stuff is happening. And then people have to be called to come and contribute, of which that happens. It does happen, and it's something that's there. It's even happened even here where I am, and you find that people will be like, why they were in the US? Why aren't they able to finance themselves or all that? But you find that life here is a little bit different, and it's a little bit harder on the ground when it comes to large chunks of money, because you find that you might not be able to save a lot, because if you're earning a minimum wage, and maybe you came in here when you are adult and you had kids, you find that you won't be able to like save a lot of money in the bank so that they can take care of all that. You find that, and it's that's a reality here in the US, is that when you are an immigrant, you might not be able to have all those large sums of money kept somewhere to take care of you when you're gone. So you find that people struggle, and there's a lot of fundraising and whatever. And sometimes the fundraising can take a long time because people give what they have. People do not give what they do not have. They don't. And you find that still our African ways, because we grew up, and you know, everybody is generous in their own way. But we still grew up in shillings, where we grew up with shillings, and here we deal with dollars. So you find that there's someone who will be like, I'm just going to give $10 or I'm going to give $5 because that's enough. Because when they convert it to the currency back there, because it takes time before you start forgetting about the currency that you are using before, and now you're thinking about this other currency that you're thinking about. So you find that you might think that people are going to be donating like whatever dollars, 100, whatever, thousands of dollars, but you find that it doesn't happen like that. So you find that maybe they have like little, maybe 100, maybe 50, even maybe 20, depending on what someone has. Unless maybe you are in a group, because there are groups here that people join, and there is a certain specification of money that if someone gets such that they pass away, or there's something that's going on, that this money has to be contributed. And you find that some people are not in those groups because of their own whatever. So you find that when you come here, you will have to choose. Do you want to join the groups, or do you want to stay individually? Like me, I like to stay individually, and I say it open. I just like to stay. I think I'm an introvert. I just like to do my thing. So you find that you must have a plan. So what is that plan that you're going to make if you do not want to be in the groups, if you do not want to be whatever? It's okay. You decide. I told you guys, this is a free country. You decide what you want to do. But at this pace right now, I always feel like I don't want to go and interact with a lot of people. I have little kids, and right now I like to concentrate with what's important for me right now, because I don't want to commit myself in doing something, because you find that if you join a group, you have those contributions that you have to do, and maybe you don't have, you might have the money, yes, but sometimes you don't even have time even to go and meet. So you look at yourself. So if you don't have that, then you go and look for another way. The other way is for you to go and look for life insurance. That's very important, because if you don't look for that and you end up getting sick, you end up passing away, you find that you will be in trouble, because if you're not in a certain group, people are not going to come to contribute for you. They will not. So what I wanted to talk about is that when you're coming here, when you win your DV lottery, when you're coming here, it doesn't matter what, even as a student, because as a student, when you're going to school, they will require you to have insurance, medical insurance. So why not be paying, even if it's and it's not very expensive to pay something for life insurance. They offer, and they send so many letters. You'll see so many letters sent to you for these companies. They're trying to tell you their rates. Some of them go as low as even $10. So it's good for you to get for every member of your family, because let's assume you're 5 people, you can be paying $50 every month, and that covers all of you. And why are you doing that? You're doing that for a rainy day, so that when you pass away, then you won't bother anybody. The way I see the American way is that if someone dies, they do not fundraise. And I think we come with that notion of fundraising from Africa, and we still think that it will work well, but most of the time it doesn't work very well here. I've seen it like being done, and sometimes it doesn't work well. It does not. So it's good for you to have something called life insurance, and it's not that you're planning for something bad to happen for you. It's that you're planning to leave your family at a better place, that they are not begging, that they are not stranded. They don't know, because it costs a lot of money to carry someone who has passed away from here to take them back home. It doesn't matter where. When it goes to Africa, it's a lot of money. It's going to cost more than, like, I would say even like 3 million Kenya shillings. Let me talk in shillings. And if you're living in another country, convert dollars, like how much? 3,000 or $3,500. Is it? No, let me see. 10,000, 20,000, $30,000. I can give it to that rate, because you find that if someone passes away and it was in a family, they will have to go home with family members. So you find that you have to pay for the ticket. Right now, the ticket, the cheapest right now, you can get a ticket for 1,000. I think you can, because the season, we are still in winter. When it comes to summer, it changes. It does change. So you find that when you're coming here in the US, if you decide that you do not wanna ask for help, there's some people who don't do very good when they're asking for help, then it's good for you to plan your life, just like the way they do here. You find that when someone dies here, the donations, whatever, they send them to a certain charity organization. They even write there on the whatever, on the card or on the obituaries, they say that the donation will be sent to a certain as a donation to a certain, maybe to a cancer organization or whatever, just to help, because they do not need that money. You see what I mean? So you find that is something, it's like a culture shock, because you find that our African way, and this is in general, you find that when someone passes away, it's a communal thing. Everybody comes in and they help. But you find here, it's a little bit individualized, whereby you have to plan your life. And I think even working in healthcare, I've learned so much, and I've learned a lot. And I've seen like it like firsthand. You see that you have this person, they have passed away, and they have everything arranged. They have even picked up the dress that they're going to wear on that day, because they have accepted that that's going to happen. That's a life change. It's a life change, and at a certain time you reach there. So you plan for it. So it's good to plan. And even back home, you find that people pass away, and they live as so many like bitter legal battles among kids, because kids are fighting for property, because the parent was not able to write even a simple thing like a will. That would like stop so many wrangles among the family members, especially if someone is wealthy. How many people who are wealthy the kids have taken each other to court because they do not agree in sharing of that property. That happens a lot, especially in Africa. So you find that these things are, it's a high time that we started acknowledging them. We acknowledge them. If you know that, and here they normally tell you when you're 40 years old, then you should start writing your will. It's good to write it. And why are you writing it? So that everybody can know this is what will happen when this person passes away. And you find that here, another thing that happens is that when you become sick or when you become older, you appoint someone who is like your, like your, it's like a legal guardian. It's called a deputy power of attorney, whereby that person is the one who can make decisions on your behalf because you are not able to at that moment. And you find that sometimes you choose one of your kids. And when you know there is always that sibling rivalry, kids that are born with one mother, there's always that thing that happens between them. I don't know why. Sometimes I watch my kids, I'm like, oh my gosh, these kids, I don't know what's wrong with them. Because there's always something that goes on with kids. And that's the same thing that happens when a parent has passed away and people are taking each other to court because they cannot decide on who gets what. So it's good, even back there in Africa, for people to start, rising up and saying, I do not want to leave trouble in my house, because let's assume you have 2 wives. It's legalized now, especially there's so many countries that has been legalized for people to have many wives, of which I've never agreed with that notion. I don't agree with it, because I'm like, what's the point of having like so many wives? It doesn't matter. But for me, I don't agree with that. But if you have many wives, why not write a will so that you do not leave these kids killing each other because because they cannot decide on who gets what. So it's very, very important. So the same thing when you're coming here. It's good to, because it is very, very individualized here. It's all about individualism. It's not like communal. We are used to communal back there. Here is more individualized. Even you will find that when people are going to a funeral, only a few people, the family members, just go. You'll find like a funeral, maybe like 10 people, 20 people, and it's okay because it involves the family. It's a family thing. But you find that on our side there, if you go for a funeral, it's everybody, even 1,000, 2,000, whatever people, all the cars that come. You find that here, yes, all the cars will be there because people have cars. Everybody has a car, whatever. But you find that the multitude of people is normally not there. It's not a lot of people. But but us, the people who decide to be buried here are the Africans. We'll see many people, but still the number, the amount of people is not going to be like the way we are at home. So things are done kind of very differently over here. So when you're coming here, it's good to have that in mind. You're like, yes, I'm planning for my kids. We said that you have to start saving a little bit for your kids' college. Then what will happen when I die? What will happen when I am older? Start saving. Even just they will offer you some plans that you can start saving money when you're working. That money you can use it when you're old, because when you're old, sometimes you might not be able to go and do very hard work. You might not be able to. So you have to plan. It makes me very sad to see that someone has lived here in the US for like 20, 30 years, and they're going back home with nothing, because that happens. You are going home and you do not have anything. And when you are here, you had everything. And even it doesn't, some even you had all the legal papers and you went back home with nothing. That's very sad, because you find that when you go there, they expect you, because at least you got that opportunity to go to a place whereby there is abundance. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that here in the US there is no abundance. There is. Here, if you work hard, you will get money. Unless you decide not to work or plan your life, you get money and you live a good life. But you have to be able to work very hard. And then you find that this person has been here for 30 years or 40 years, and then they are going back home. They have nothing. Now, that makes me so sad. And I'm like, what's the point of even going? That opportunity would have been taken from you and given someone else. That someone else would have done better with their life instead of going to bother people back there at home. And you are here and you had all the opportunity, because you have the opportunity here. Yeah, unless you refuse to take the opportunity is here. But it's all individualized, guy. It's how you take it. It's how you whatever. Because you can decide you have come here and you have come here to party. Nobody is gonna ask you when you're going to party. No. You can wake up, go party, whatever, and decide that you're just gonna work for it's got paycheck to paycheck, whereby you're only working to pay your rent, pay your bills, and that's it. And you do not have any other thought. So you find that if anything happens, you will either end up being taken to a nursing home, because you can be taken even into a nursing home here. You can. I've seen people taken to the nursing home, our own African people. They've been taken there, and nobody is coming to check on them. Why? And maybe that person was having a good job because they were living a life of, they were not, because anything can happen. Like anything. This is what I normally say is that, yes, I am a US citizen right now. And I still feel like there are some things, my African is still in me. And I still, sometimes I feel like that person, instead of coming here, and then they are going to bother people back there, they shouldn't even have come here. Because sometimes you just feel bad, because there are so many opportunities, but you have to embrace the positive ones, because even the negative ones are there, and nobody is going to ask you. This is unless you are driving when you're drunk, that one you will be arrested, or you will be charged, or your whatever, your driver's license will be taken away, or if you're violent. But if you're doing your things quietly and you're not thinking about the future, you find that you will end up not helping even your own kin. Because the way we are is that when the people who are more elevated, we have to help the people back at home who are not elevated. We have to raise them up. That's how we do as Africans. So it's very, very important for everybody who is coming here as an immigrant. That's what I would say, especially if you come here with a DV lottery. Like, focus and do your best. Save. Have that life insurance. Save for your kids to go to college. And it's better they say that they don't want to go to college, because still they can say, I don't want to go to college, I want to do this. Unless they're successful, guide them to be successful. Because even when it comes to parenting, it's still, guys, it's still like a lot of work. Because parenting here, it's very easy for you to be so much focused on your work, so much focused on your school, and you forget about these ones that you're raising. It's very, very easy, because life here it's about schedule. So you find that you have to have that balance, so that even when you bring them up, they can be able to help themselves. Because here it's very easy for you're just going to work, and you just come and sleep. You come and take your kids to school, and then you sleep, and then they come from school, you feed them, and then maybe you stay with them for like an hour, and then you go, and then you don't see them, because they're left with the other parent. And the other parent came in the evening, maybe they ate dinner, and then they went to bed, and that other parent has to go to work. So you find that you won't have so much time with your children. And what happens is that there's that disparity, whereby you tend to be distant. You do not know what they need. You're still in the same house, but you don't know them. So that happens, that can happen a lot. So you have to know how to balance, because here it's not like the way you say that they will go to their grandmother or whatever. No, here it's you to plan, and to know this is the time for family. This is the time for work. This is if especially if you're a parent, you have to like sit down and think, can I even afford to go to school? And if I can't afford to go to school right now, when is the right time that I can go to school? You see what I mean? So all that, because even school runs even in summertime. It does run in summertime, so you can decide. So guys, it's just an overview of life here, because here, unless you have to come with another mindset, delete some of what you know out there. Do not forget your morals and how you are brought up, but still you have to, it's a new lease that you have to do a lot of planning and a lot of balancing. Because without balancing, is that you find that you can be very successful, and you can be very, very much educated, and you have everything, but at the same time your kids, they suffer because they did not have that guide. It's very, very important to put all that into consideration. Let me read another one here. Nathan Ontegi. Let Lovely saying, I'm grateful for acknowledging me. I'm still watching you live. Thank you for that. Let Love lead. Thank you. Nathan Ontegi. Hi, Charity. Why do most Africans struggle to bring back home those who have died? Is it illegal to marry immigrants in the US? No, it's not. It's not illegal to marry immigrants in the USA. It's very legal, but you have to buy a plot. That little area that someone is, but that grave, we call it a grave. In Africa, you find that one you have to buy it. It's not free. It costs money. And all the funeral arrangement, it's still a lot of money. It's not cheap, guys. So you find that if And most people, you find that most people, they don't like to be buried here. I don't know why. They just don't like to be buried here. And it's our own thing. That's our own African thing. You just want to go and be buried with your people. It's good. It's still our culture. And, that one cannot be changed. But it's not that you cannot be buried here. It's even here. You still have to have money for it to happen, because you have to pay for when you pass away, you have to pay for the mortuary fees. You have to pay for even for the coffin, and then you have to pay for that plot. And it's not cheap. So let's assume that you are here by yourself. You didn't have family. 40 people are watching me, guys. Thank you for joining me. You didn't have all that stuff, and then you just die, and maybe you are found somewhere in the house. Maybe you went home and you died, or maybe you had a car accident or whatever, and you are used to just living paycheck to paycheck. Because and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like most people here, they live paycheck to paycheck. They do live paycheck, but then that's the life here. Especially if you're very new, and maybe you haven't even gone to school or whatever, or maybe you have not established yourself to do a certain business. You find that you will live paycheck to paycheck, because you'll have minimum wage. It will be minimum wage for you. Even if you come with that degree, before you go to school, and you like you do you get the certification, you still start with minimum wage. So let's assume that something happens to you and you have not been saving even $10. You can save $10, and that can change. And that's $10. Instead of maybe saying that you're going to keep it in the bank, and maybe sometimes you're broke, you're going to go and take it from there. Why not look for life insurance? It's not that you cannot be buried here. You still can be buried here, but with life insurance is better, because even if you want to be buried here, you are not going to bother people, because the people that you are bothering, they are living from hand to mouth, from paycheck to paycheck. You see what I mean? Yeah. So you find that even if they want to give, the will is there to give, but it's a lot of money. $20,000, $30,000. It's a lot. And when you go home, the people who are taking you back there, they are not there's no way that you can come from the US. And I stand to be corrected. You come from the US and you're going to Africa, you're going to fundraise there. Sometimes it becomes difficult, because people will be like, even people from the US, we are still whatever contributing for them. That's there. That's reality of people. It's like you go to, and I'm gonna give like a just vivid example. It's like the ocean borrowing water from the river. That's how it is. That when you come to the US, you are a little bit elevated, and that's the truth. Because even right now, if you look at the dollar, it's changing with 108 shillings. I looked yesterday, I think. So when you look at that, there is like that person will ask that question: what were they doing? Why am I contributing? And that's the same thing that happens. Even if you get here and you want that fundraising, you don't get a lot. So it's good to plan. It's good to have that life insurance, so that you have a security on your life. It's very, very important, of which most of our African people, they don't do that. And most of it is still tied to the taboos, saying that I cannot plan my death, because if I plan my death, I'm going to die. But at the end of the day, you have to overcome that and know that you're going to die. It's not that, yeah, you have to plan. Even if you want to be buried here, it still costs money. It's not free, guys. It's not free. It costs money. And you find that here, another thing that I've noted is that when you have your kids and whatever, it's not like the way, when we were being brought up, is that we know that we have to look behind for our family members, look out for them, and even for our parents to look out for them. Sometimes here it becomes even a little bit difficult, because when you bring up your kids and they start working, some of them, they cannot even afford to support you, because they are doing their own things. They are not able to set a share so that they can be able to support you. So you find that you have to plan. When you come on this side, you have to plan as an individual. Get your own life insurance, or get a whole family, whatever. Or you get your own, and then you include all your family members, so that in case anything happens, even if you want to be married here, whatever, because you have to buy all that stuff. There is nothing free here, so you will be able to. But it's not that you can't be buried here. You can be buried here, but it costs money. It does cost money, guys, and it's good to talk about these things, because someone might get help, So, guys, subscribe to the channel. Let Lovely, thank you for that. Chausiku Jasma, hi Charity, thank you. Myself, when I come to the US, this is Chausiku Jasma. I want to work, but I want to retire from my birth country and be buried there when when I die, not in the US. Yeah, and this is the reality, guys. This is the reality whereby you find that our people want to be taken back home because they will feel they are so. And you know, it's important because when you're taken back home, those people who have not seen you in 10 years, like I told you guys that it's gonna be 8 years in May that I have not gone back home. And now I feel like it's time that I wanna start preparing so that I can go. Those people you left there, your friends, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your sister, your aunts, they want to have something, like they want to see you for that last time. You know, there's this human thing that have you ever seen a family that they have lost someone? You find that that family, because they lost that, if you compare the family that lost someone and you compare another family that someone died, you find that the person that the person who died, they don't have so much stress about that person. They have, I think they have some closure. But if someone just walked away and they have never been found, it's very hard on that family, very very hard for them, like, to overcome that, because they always think that that person will come back. That's what they think about. But you find that if someone died, then and they bury them, they know that that person is buried and whatever. You know, there's that peace and that satisfaction that they know, and it's the same thing. That is why people want to go back home. They want to be taken back home, back to their family members, so that their family members can mourn and they can have that kind of closure. You know what I mean? So it's good to plan for that when you're coming here. This is very far away. And the way maybe you'll pay $1,000 to go to Kenya right now, to and fro, it's not the way that you will carry a body to take back home. It's expensive, guys. It's very, very expensive. And that's something that you have to put in mind when you're coming here to the US, especially if you wanna go and get whatever. So visiting visas open now. I have to look at that Ruth Mwangi if they are open, because I was talking to a friend yesterday, and that friend of mine was supposed to go for an interview actually last year, and since they rescheduled, he hasn't been called again. So I have to look at that information and see if they're still getting that. Esther Mwangi, my question is, I have grown up children over 22 years. How does it go? Can I invite them after winning the green card? Now, you find that it's easier to invite kids who are 18 years and below 18 years, because those ones, actually, no, 21 and below, not 18. 21 and below, you can invite them, but you can still file for them even if they are 22 years and they are kids, but categorically, those ones are classified as adults. So meaning that because they are classified as adults, it might take a longer time. But your younger ones who are below 21 years old, those ones is easier. It's a little bit easier to come and whatever, to invite them. It takes a process, but you can still invite them. It's like the way, even if when you have a green card, you can invite, you can file for a parent and you can file for your sibling. You find that if you want to file for a parent and for a sibling it's going to take a longer time. It takes a longer time. So you can still apply for them, but it's not going to be like fast, because they are already adults. Here, when you are 21 and above, you are an adult. Like, you are an adult, but they normally recognize if you're below 21, you can still be filed for. So you can, but it takes time for them to get that. So Christine Kemto, hi Charity, thank you for joining me. Now, Teresa Makomi, hi Charity, talk of immigrating to the US as a caregiver if you are trained in Kenya. So the same thing that I talked about when someone asked about the CNA is the same thing about caregiving. So caregiving can be in two ways. Caregiving can be in healthcare, whereby you are a CNA, and caregiving can be a nanny. You can become a nanny. And nannies, they get a lot of money. I think I look at advertisements and sometimes they even get over $18 an hour. So it's good money. So you find that you still have to be trained. You still have to be trained, because our African ways of bringing up children are not the American ways. If you come here and you bring up children like the way we were brought up in Africa, we were being beaten up all the time. You will get arrested and you will go to jail. So so that doesn't work a lot. You still have to some education to go to. And these courses for caregiving, they don't take a long time. So you should not worry about that. As soon as you are here, It's going to take you just a few weeks, and then you're going to get your certification, because you have to have certification when you're caregiving. Doesn't matter whether you're caregiving the old people or you're caregiving kids, because, or you're even caregiving teenagers. You find that there are homes for teenagers, whereby some of them they don't have homes, and some of them they don't have. They are struggling with behavior. So you find that it doesn't matter who you are going to take care of, but you have to be trained. You need some training, because the way things are done here is different. It's very, very different. So they'll still want you to do some kind of training. Okay. Okay. Christian Kemuto is asking me, is it true that in the USA kuna specific states for LGBTQ community? That is legal here. That is legal, and it's very open. Like very, oh my gosh, that's open. That is open, and it's fine. It's not like home, whereby you find that there are still those people who who are in that community, but they hide. Now here is in the open. Here, people of the same sex, they marry each other. Like they even get married. But in this state, I don't think they get married in this state. But they can even go to Florida and get married and then come back here. So it doesn't matter. They're everywhere. Like they're everywhere. And I don't like judging people. For me, it doesn't matter what kind of person that is. For me, it doesn't matter. So it's there. It's like that one is open. That's something that you're gonna see and get used to here, because it's an open thing. It's not something that is done in the closet anymore. It's not done in the closet, and you cannot discriminate against them. You cannot. You cannot discriminate against anybody. It doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is. You cannot. You can't. That would be like very, 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 very illegal. You cannot discriminate. They're human beings, and they should be treated with dignity. And that's how it is. You have to. You cannot even talk behind, and it's just wrong, because here in this country it's a little bit different. And those are some of the things that you will come and you will find out that those are normal things here. Like it's normal, and you just treat them the way they are, like humans, like the way you just treat if they're married, and that's it. So that's not it's not specific. It's everywhere. Here in the US, it's everywhere. So yeah. But for me, I don't judge anybody. I really, for me, I tend to like generalize everything and just look at a person as who they are, because you find that you might even have people and they're hiding. So instead of hiding, here it's in the open. And it's not that I'm praised. I know I don't like commenting so much about it, but I normally do not like judging people. I don't judge anybody, because I believe like you have freedom to do whatever you want. And if you choose, if that is how you are, then it's okay. But when you come from Africa, and we are coming from a place that that community is frowned on, whereby even you've seen people back there, and they are hiding. They cannot talk about it. You've even seen people being in danger because of because of their sexual orientation. You find that here you cannot do that. You can't. You cannot. And it's everywhere. You'll find those people, and they're good people. It's not that there's something wrong with them, no, but you cannot judge them, because even we are not supposed to judge anybody. For me, I don't judge anybody. I'm just like, okay, fine. As long as if we can work together, if there's something that we are doing in common, we just do it, and that's it. Beyond there, what someone does in their life out there, it's like, when you come here, you don't care. It's none of your business. So you just let it be. But it's there everywhere. It's open. It's very, very much open. Okay. Hi, Charity. Lots of love from Kenya. How soon can one petition for parents? Or you must be a citizen first? Kindly advise. No, you can be a permanent resident to petition for your parents. But if you're a permanent resident and if you're a citizen, for the citizen, at the time that you're supposed to wait to petition for a parent, if it's a specific time, that time is not going to go beyond. You're going to get it in that specific time. But if you're a permanent resident, you find that it might take a longer time, but you still can petition for your parents when you're a permanent resident. You can do that. And before you petition for them, what I normally say is that before you start petitioning for them and deciding for them to come and live here in the US, invite them first. Invite your parents first. They come and they visit and they see the life here. After they have seen the life here, then they can weigh, do they want to come and start a new life here, or do they want to stay back at home and be coming to visit? You have to give them that opportunity, because not every parent is going to drive. Because here you find that when we go back in Africa, is that our parents, they are used to, maybe they're going to church, they have a group that they are going, they have a merry-go-round, they have, they have friends, all that goes on. There's that communal life. There is that socializing. You find that here is a little bit different. That one is not here. I told you guys that I invited my mom during COVID, so she was locked in, and she was supposed to stay for 6 months. She was locked in, and she ended up staying for 1 year. And I could tell that she was getting depressed. Because you find that here is not that you will go for and meet all the other women and you are having a merry-go-round. Maybe there is a wedding somewhere, you're going for a wedding this Saturday, maybe the other time that you're going for, even if it's a funeral, even if it's to go and pay dowry, even if it's good to go and see a baby that was born. That one is not here. It doesn't happen a lot. So you find that sometimes our parents do struggle. So you find that give them that opportunity for them to come and tell you, for them to come and decide. So they understand that they go through that culture shock, because they can come and stay for 6 months, go back home, come back for another 6 months, go back home, and then have that conversation with them and ask them, do you want to come and live here? And this is the lifestyle, put all that into the dynamics, so that when they are making that decision, they are fully prepared, even psychologically, that they will be able to adapt. I hope you understand what I'm meaning. That it's good, first of all, to prepare them. And then, so if they like it, it's okay. Because there's some parents who come here, they really like it, they want to stay here. There's some parents who come here, they're like, oh, I want to go back home. Even there's some of us, we come here and we leave, and then some of us, they're like, no, when I grow old, I want to go back home. So it depends on an individual, but it's always good, because when you invite them, they get the invitation, and they can come and see how it is on this side, and then they will decide for themselves. You can decide for them. They have to decide for themselves. Kabagala Heman, I have come late. Yeah, today we are going to go. I told you guys that Saturday I'll be going for 1 hour, 30 minutes, because I canceled the Monday one because of my school. So I just said that I'm going to be adding 30 minutes, and then it's just going to be only Saturday that I've been going live from 12 to 1:30. It's 1:17. So we have 13 minutes to ask more questions. Okay. All right, let's see what Esther Mwangi is saying here. Hi, what about what happens if you win a green card and you had already had a visa? Will you be still needed to go to the embassy process? You can go there and it's called a life change. Go talk to them and tell them this is what happened, and then they can advise you accordingly. But you find that if you win the green card in May and you had the visa to travel, depending on what you are coming to do and traveling, you can come and travel and do whatever you wanted to do, but go back and do not violate your visa. Don't violate your visa. Violating your visa means that because you want the green card and you had the visa, you say, oh, I can stay. No, because these visas are different. So you have to, if you are coming here for something else, come for whatever you are coming for, and then you can go back home and process your green card, but do not violate your visa. By violating it means that you come and because you get for 5 years, you decide that you're not going to go back, or you decide to work. You find that they will look at all that, what you did when you came here, and it might affect your green card. So if you are coming for another thing, it's good to come. And then when the time comes and you have filled out your DS-260 and it's time to go to the interview, you can, whatever, you can come back and do it. But do not violate your visa. Don't do that, because that can bring problems, and you don't want to be in problems. It's hard, it's very, very hard if you have violated your visa, like to convince them otherwise. Okay, Tabs Shiro, hi Charity, just joined. Thank you for joining. Okay, Anthony Chabaga, tutored from Vihiga County. My boss has acknowledged my skills to be very good as offset lithographic machine operator. Will to get college in the printing field or get a job if I win the DV lottery. So so that course that you have done, lithographic machine operator. So you just come in. I told you, you just come with your transcripts, and then they evaluate them. They do an evaluation, and then they place you to where you are at that point, and then you can do that certification, and then you get a certificate or whatever you get, and then you are able to practice, because you have to get certification for you to be able to practice. But it's okay, you have it. Make sure that you carry your transcripts. Okay. Thanks, Charity. You have explained well on parents petitioning. Yeah, because and this is an African thing. I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, whereby you find that in the African setting, when one of the kids is well up, they tend to want to make decisions for their parents, which I find wrong. So give them that opportunity to come and visit first, so that they will tell you whether they like it or not. Because here there is no social life. Some of them, they will have to come and start working. Yeah, they will have to come and start working. Because, and it's good to be real, very real. Let's assume that you're married, right? And it's your mother or your dad. According to our customs, when they're coming to your home, and like my mom or my dad, when they're coming to my home and I am married, you find that there are some customs that they cannot live there. You see what I mean? So it's the way that and this topic has been talked about so much, whereby you find that maybe the girl got married, and it's they live somewhere well off, and then the parents of the girl decide to go and live there, especially us women. The mother likes to go and stay there. You find that sometimes there is conflict, and that doesn't change. When coming to the US, doesn't change our customs, guys. It does not. It does not change our customs, and there is no way our customs will ever change. So you find that that's something that is frowned upon in Africa. Yes, US is you can overlook, but still you find that there are those parents who will not agree. So if they don't agree, then that means that they'll have to have their own apartment or their own house or whatever, and they have the bills have to be paid, because for every year that you're living, bills have to be paid. So your parents will also have to make a decision. Are they able to work? Do they want to work? So give them all those opportunities. And then at the end of the day, sit down with them, and then they will decide whether they want to come and live here, or they want to stay home and you assist them when they're home. Give them that opportunity, guys. It's very, very important for you to do that, because I feel like sometimes that as children, especially when our parents get older, we tend to try and make decisions for them. But I still believe, even if they're old, they can make that call and say, yes, it's good, I want to live here. Yes, it's good, but I don't want to live here. Yeah, so it's important, because even if it's something like healthcare, you find that you can still invite them, and you take them to the hospital, at the best hospitals that you want to here. But I find that give them that opportunity to make that decision is very, very important, especially if you look at it the African way, because you find that we cannot lose our ways, because we came here to the US and then we forget our ways. So our ways are different. They are very, very, very different. So look at that and put it into context, and then talk to your parents. Okay, how long does it take for an immigrant to settle? It depends on you. Paris karaoke. Because like I said, it all depends on the hands that you fall on. That's a major contributing factor. Where did you fall on? So if you come here and of course you won't know many things when you come. It's like you're seeing, but you are kind of blind. You're not seeing clearly. So you will have you're depending on that hand, your host. Your host is your first determinant, but you can still overrule that. And you know, if you have a very independent mind, you can still overrule that and still start a good life. But it depends so much on your host. And what I said is that when you're coming here, especially when you come with a DV lottery, the first thing you do is start thinking of how you will get a job and start settling, because here you are starting a new life. So if you come in and my life is party, here you can party, you can party and party every time. It doesn't matter. You can. Here I told you guys, food is expensive, food is cheap, wine is cheap, beer is everything is cheap. So if you want to come and you don't want to like start working immediately, you want to first of all visit all the states in the US. There are many, and then after that you enter into like a not serious environment, you find that it will take you time for you to realize yourself. It will take you time, because I've even seen people who've been they normally say, and it's open, they say like, I wasted my first 10 years in the US. Yeah, it happens because time goes. It's just the other day that we came here. It's almost 8 years now that we've been here. So time flies. So it depends on you as an immigrant, on you as a whatever permanent resident. How do you start your life? Who did you fall? You can come in and you see that this person, they're not taking their life seriously. And then you are like, the first thing I will do is get a job and get out of here. Get an apartment. It doesn't matter even if you get an apartment for cheapest apartment and then you sleep on the floor. It does not matter, guys. It doesn't matter. You have to come with that mindset that that when you're coming to the US, you're not going to live in Runda. Those big estates. No, you're coming to start a new life. And when you're starting from scratch, it's hard, guys. It's not easy. It's hard. But if you work hard, I told you guys, if you are willing to work hard, it's very, very easy for you to have your own apartment, you have your things going, and you decide on the next step. So it depends on you. That's what I can say. There's some people who pick up very fast, and within a very short time, they have even surpassed people who have been here for 20 years. There's some people who struggle and they realize that they have wasted their time 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It all depends on you. So that's individualized. I cannot put a time frame on that. So 45 people, guys, thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe to my channel. I only have 4 minutes. I'm going to answer these questions very fast. And then I'll see you again on Saturday. So thank you, Charity. John Rurangwa, Kigali, Rwanda. Thank you for joining me, John. You've been texting me, and thank you for that. Kitab Shiro. If my spouse is the one who won the DV lottery, I understand that he is supposed to fill the DS-260. Will he fill for me also? So the DS-260, and I told you guys, I do want to do the DS-260. It's too early right now. I'm going to do it after we check the results. Is that the DS-260 is more information about you. That's all it means. That paper is, the DS is Department of State, 260. That number 2, that's a number for that. They have given that document. So that information is you. You tell all your stuff, where you have worked, or it's like, the way you filled out the DV lottery, you told them the place of birth and all that. Now you are telling them all about yourself, where you have worked, or what you have been doing, where you went to school, all that information, you put it there. And then you fill out for your spouse, what your spouse had been doing, whatever. If you have kids, you fill out all that stuff about your kids, everything that you need to fill out. But for the kids, it's not much, because for the kids, it's just where they were born and all that is not much. But for you and your spouse, you find that the first applicant, the one who, the name with the DV lottery, now that one is the one who fills out everything about them. It's more information about you. So the Tab Shiro, he will fill for you also, and it's good for you to be there. It's good for you to be there. Do it, especially if you're married. Do it collectively. When you're married, what I believe is that when you're married, and that's how I live my life. I like to kind of whatever I'm doing that my husband, like, he knows, and even him, he likes to involve me in what he's doing. And I believe that's how it should be everywhere. You should not be doing your own things when you're married by yourself. So fill out that DS-260, both of you, and make sure that you are those questions are not hard. They're not hard. And if you are having difficulty, especially for the DV 2023, I'll do one. I'll just do so many, like just the way I did for the filling out of the DV lottery. And we will help each other with that one. Thank you, Charity Paris Karaoke. Tab Shiro, Charity, is it true there's a question in the DS-260 that asks you whether you have applied for the visa before? If you have ever applied and failed, do you have to explain why? Yeah, it asks, normally it normally asks if you have traveled to the US before, or if you have ever been given any visa. Yeah, you just say, yeah, you applied. And even if you failed, you don't have to explain. You just say that you applied. So they don't need all that information, but they want to know that you had done the application. It's just, it's just like a follow-up that they are doing. But I told you guys, the DV lottery is very different. You will not be judged. And you will only be judged if you have committed crimes or you have done things against, even like the video that I did about social media. You have been posting bad things about US. They will not give you. But you find that if you have applied for the visa, it's okay. They had a reason why they didn't give you that visa. It's like, when we go to work, even here, we have a report and we know this is what we are going to do. Even them, they plan. They know this person, we are going to give a visa. This one, we are going to give this one. It's not, especially these, the students and whatever. It's not like the DV lottery, like it's a lottery. They have weighed so many things before you go there. Of course, your presentation and all that and your confidence is still going to add up and it's going to help you. But still, they have decided, they know these people they are going to get. But then when you go there, according to your presentation, then you add more marks to yourself and then you get the visa. So you right, if you had applied for it, right, that you had. Whatever they're asking, you have to give that information. You cannot withhold information, guys. You cannot. The person comes here. If the person comes there and he's in the principal applicant and through his spouse comes and he isn't educated, will he get a job too? Now, when you're a principal applicant, I said you have to have the Form 4. And I was talking to this other person. I don't know very well the Uganda system. I need to look at that. He was saying that I think they go up. It's like they go up to Form 6. That's the high school education. So he was saying that he could qualify, but then I told him if it's not an equivalency of high school education of the high school certificate, then you will have to go with work experience. So you find that if your spouse qualified with education, that is, they went to high school, even you who isn't educated, you can still go to school and you can still get a job. I told you guys, after you win the DV lottery and after you have passed and your family and you have gotten the visa, when you come here, you start a new life. You decide, am I going to work or am I going to go to school? So it's upon you to make that decision about that. Okay. Hi, Charity. How much do group homes in the US pay their employees? It depends on your experience and it depends on what you're doing and it depends on the state. And so there's so many factors that go in. So you find that it doesn't. Group homes, they are individualized. And like for example, if I decided to keep a group home, I can. When I become a registered nurse, I can keep my own, and I will decide. But I go with the wages that that range with that state. That's how I go with. But you can still get minimum wage. So you find that it's not a very big difference. Because maybe you can find that you're making maybe like here in Kansas, maybe you're making like $15-16 an hour as a CNA. You can make that, and of course it went high because of COVID, because the shortage of people to work. But you find that it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. You can work anywhere as long as you are feeling comfortable. And um, what I can say is that it also depends with your experience. And when you're starting, sometimes you will start very low. You won't, because you don't have any experience. But as you work, maybe you have worked in a place for like 2 or 3 years, and then maybe you move from there, you go to work at another place. You find that because you have that experience, then you get a little bit more. So it all depends. And it's not that you can even go to a nursing home and you see that they're paying better than whatever. You can even go and you go and work for maybe the VA. The VA is whereby the soldiers, when they retire, their homes, and you find that sometimes you might not be earning a lot, but the benefits are very good, especially insurance is very good. So you always put all that into dynamics, and then you look at it, and then you're like, where do I fit? And also the state that you're living in. And if you go to California right now, or maybe you're going to live in New York, you will get more than a nurse who is working in Kansas, but at the same time, the rent is different. Hmm? Everything is different over there. So you find that it all depends on the state that you are living in. Another thing is you can be the same field with someone, but someone maybe has been a CNA for 10 years and you just started. You're not going to be paid the same amount because of something called seniority, whereby they have worked, they have more experience and all that. So all that falls into place. But when you come in, you decide, guys. You do decide. Okay. Can one be denied a visa if you're servicing alone in Kenya? Jambi Mwangi. Now, I don't think you can, but it's good to be honest. I'm going to tell you a story about myself. So by the time I was coming in here, I had a loan. The Kenya Women Finance Trust. I had a loan, and I remember by the time we were coming in, I hadn't finished my loan. I had 40,000 remaining, but then I had savings. of 43,000. So so I called them because I did not want to go with any debt. So I called the office because sometimes it's difficult, especially when you are in a group. And I was struggling with the group because the group wanted me to pay that money up front, but still I had my savings. But I knew that if I went to the bank and I told them I have my savings, because it doesn't matter whether you are in a group, you are individualized, because you get your loan by yourself, and there's a certain savings that you're supposed to save so that you get your loan. So what I did, I went I went to the bank itself and I told them, this is what I have in my savings, and this is my loan. But that time I had gotten the visa and everything. I know it's not good when you're still living there, but when you're living and you're not going to take another no loan there, then you can do that. So what I did is that they balanced off my loan with my savings, because you find that at that time you had to have a certain amount of money for you to get a certain amount of loan, especially in that organization. So what I did is that I talked to them, and they balanced off my money, and actually they gave me my balance. Although that did not go well with the group. You know me, I just like to talk the truth. It didn't go well with the group because the group wanted me to pay that money up front and then ask for my savings, of which I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, because if the savings then were returned, they would be returned to the group, and I was not there, I was gone. So I wasn't trusting, like, I was like, I'm not here. When you're not there, you're not there. So you can't trust people with money. So that's what I did. So it doesn't matter, you have a loan, yes. If you are able to clear that loan, it's best for you to clear that loan. But at the end of the day, it is always good to make arrangements that you will be able to pay that money. Because especially the people who have guaranteed you and all that, when you're going to the US, they will be like, this person is not going to pay that money. But you have to be honest with yourself. Like me, I was very honest with myself. I was like, yes, I am going to go and talk to the organization so that I can balance off my money, my savings, and whatever, so that I don't owe anything. Because I would have felt so bad if I came here and I refused to pay someone's debt. So it's always good, even if you have that loan, make sure that you have, of course, you have your savings and all that. Go talk to your bank and tell them they owe everything, so that they can, if it's balancing, then you can balance off. If it's whatever, then if it's a place that you can get money and pay for it when you come here in the US, maybe the money that you're paying there for that loan for that whole month or whatever is remaining, you find that you can even come here and make it in maybe like less than a month, and pay it off. So it's always good. They will not deny you a visa because you're servicing a loan, but it's always good to be true to yourself and to be honest and make arrangement on how you're going to pay your loan. That's very, very important, very, very important for you to do. Please discuss on different states for immigrants, pros and cons. Which ones are more friendly to Africans? Now, for me, I think you can survive anywhere. But and that's a topic for another day. You find that there's some other states that you can go to and you're like, oh, I just don't want to be there, because just like the way there's tribalism, there's tribalism, a lot of tribalism, and right now there's politics. There's politics going on, so you find that people tend to live in clusters according to tribes. Sometimes it can happen here, but you find that here, when it comes to the pros and cons and who is friendly, the first thing that I will tell you is that when you're coming here, come with the mindset that you want to be individualized. You thrive better, and then look for friends later after you have settled. That's how I see it. Because you find that you might think that I am going to even you might even go to a state whereby you think your own fellow Africans are going to be more friendly, but you find that the people you find they're more friendlier than your own fellow Africans. So it depends on where you're going. But I know that, and I'm gonna do a video on that. I think that's a more extensive topic that I have to talk about and just pick out. But the thing is that here, racism, when you become a racist, or when someone is discriminating people against race, that is illegal. It's illegal, but still you have to look at where you're going. You still have to look at where you're going, because there are some places that you will go and then you'll be like, no, I can't be here. So, and those things happen. They even happen in Africa. So it's not racism and tribalism is the same thing. So it happens, but I can talk about that topic in another time. How long does it take you to fly over once given the visa? So it depends on how much money you have and when you want to travel. But you find that you will travel to, you go to Britain for 8 to 9 hours, and then you will have a layover. You will have to wait, maybe you have a layover of 6 hours or 7 hours. And then from there, you will fly from Britain, Amsterdam. You come to the US at your port of entry. So like us, our port of entry was in Chicago. So after you come there, and that's where your port of entry is, where you give your documents. You give your visa, and you give that envelope that is unopened. That I told you that when they give you that yellow envelope, do not open it. So you give it there, and then after they have gone through it, the immigration people, then they will tell you, welcome to America, whatever. And then now from there, then we'll take a plane that will take you to the state that you are going. That takes like a few hours, 4 hours, whatever. And then you go to the state that you are going. So the whole journey, it's a long one, and it's very long. I remember when we were coming in, like the African in me, I decided that I was going to wear heels because I was going to the US. So I wore heels. I'm telling you, I sat on that plane for 8 hours. By the time I was trying, and I was kind of having like the fright. I don't know why I was scared for some reason. So I didn't even go to the bathroom for those 8 hours. I didn't even stand up to stretch. So by the time I stood up and I was wearing high heels, one of my legs wasn't working. Like I had trouble with that leg. So it's good. It's a long travel, so it's good to wear just flat shoes that are not gonna whatever, like sport shoes. It's good to wear those ones. And if you have difficulty, it's good to wear, they're called Ted hose, those very tight stockings that you put on your feet, so that the circulation can be good, on your feet, because you get very tired and you just feel bad. So it's a long journey, but it's worth it. It's worth it to travel. And sometimes it's a little bit more stressful when you have kids, because even kids get tired. So it's good when you're on the plane to just get up and stretch and whatever. Don't be like me. I never even went to the bathroom. I was so scared. Yeah. So let's see. Hunjai, watching from Kiambu Roiro, always amazing listening. It is encouraging and informative. Keep the candle burning. Thank you. So Jambi, thanks. Thank you, Charity. God bless you. Right now, I am finishing. I've extended with 10 minutes. Hello, ma'am. I'm new here. Precious Gam Gwa. Thank you for joining me, Precious. I hope that you have subscribed. And Esther Mangi, I mean, once you're given a visa, how long can you remain in your country before you leave the USA? They give you 6 months. You have 6 months to prepare and leave. After 6 months, your visa will have expired. So you have 6 months, and then you can prepare and come. And like I said, if you don't have a lot of money, indicate in your DS-260 that you'll be traveling alone and your family will be coming back later. But as soon as you get here, work very hard, send them the fare, because it's not a lot. It's not a lot to raise that money. That when you come on this side, and when you just look at the stock market and see how much the dollar is exchanging with your currency in wherever that you are, and see it's not much. It's not going to be much. And then you can bring your family here, because the visa is only for 6 months. And then you come here, and then you get your little green card. Okay, so thank you and God bless you. So guys, it's been a good 1 hour 43 minutes close, and I am going to end this live show. If you have any more questions, guys, kindly text them to me. Go to my Facebook and at Charity Nganga, or Charity's Bible fan page, and you text me there, and that's how we roll. So thank you for that. Thanks. I like the way you enlighten us. Can you encourage one to travel before the family? Yeah, you can do that, but make sure that you don't forget whatever. Sarah Miranda, you are here. We've been missing each other, but I think I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm done with this live. So I'm gonna call you here in a little bit. So stay on the phone. So guys, thank you for joining me. Continue watching my videos. I'm gonna upload more videos, and God bless you, and stay safe.